A very good night, good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where you are in the world. LRVS is truly a global event. My name is Lars van Dijk. I'm the general manager for Fluidtech here in Asia. I'm coming at you today from Singapore. So, at my side, it's 5 p.m., getting ready for the evening. And I have the honor today of being your moderator, and I have the honor of introducing a very interesting topic that is close to heart also for the members of Fluidtech. I do apologize for our late start, which is due to some connection issues that we had. Unfortunately, IT is sometimes acting up and not allowing to do our own schedule. But let's hope that this is not going to be an issue further on in this presentation. And now we're all set to go. So I have the honor of introducing Jonathan David, who is the director at the Maintenance Institute, and he will be sharing his knowledge on gaining the edge in business with lubrication excellence and predictive analysis. Like I said, a topic that I can't wait to hear more about myself because it's directly related to what we do. So without further ado, I will bring Mr. Jonathan David online, and he will be able to start his presentation. Thank you very much, and I'll see you later. Please ask questions in the chat, and we will handle them later if there's still time for that. Thank you very much. Dear Jonathan, over to you.
Great, nice to have you on. And depending on where you are listening from today, I'm reaching you all the way from Nigeria. So here, it's still the morning, so I'll say good morning to you. If you're in a similar time zone like myself, if you're somewhere in the Far East, then I know it's probably lunchtime or mid-afternoon for you, so afternoon to you. And to those joining us from the United States, I know it's the early hours of the morning for you, so good morning to you. Today, I want to share with us something that's of importance to me, and I think is also of importance to you, especially as professionals in the field of maintenance reliability. Whether you are an expert in lubrication or you're someone that just makes use of the service, I think what we want to consider today, it's going to be of utmost importance to you. Uh, One, the topic is how to gain the edge in business using the elements of lubrication excellence as well as predictive analytics. Now, lubrication excellence for lubrication professional, it's not going to be something new to you. And I don't think the subject of predictive analytics will be new to you as well. However, what I'm trying to do is bring the business mix into it. As an entrepreneur for the past 10 years, I know what the business world looks like. I know what happens out there. I know what business owners look forward to achieving. But sometimes, as individuals working in organizations, we do not get to see the full picture. Sometimes we only see what is revealed to us. Just like I was telling someone recently, I said, when you are sitting with a visionaire, the visionaire, you only see what is revealed to you. So for the businesses we work in as professionals, there are visionaries who see, who have the big picture in their hands. And because they have the big picture in their hands, they are going to be able to see aspects of the business we don't see as maybe people that are working on the shop floor, or as middle managers, you're going to get some bit of exposure, but not all of the exposure. So today, where we want to start from is starting with the end in mind. Okay, with the end in mind. For every task you carry out, for every activity you carry out, whether as an undergrad in college or the university, depending on where you are, as a young man getting his first job as a technician or as an engineer, naturally, you begin with the end in mind. I learned this very early on when I read Stephen Covey's book, actually, because having that end in mind helps you see a much more larger picture. Okay, and that starts with for entrepreneurs or managers or people that work in boardrooms or the C-suite, the end in mind starts with why you are in business, right? Your organization is in business for a reason, and they're in business because they have a purpose in mind, and they don't just want to be in business, they want to be able to profit from the business. That's the bottom goal. They want to be able to achieve profit, they want to be able to make money from the business. And that's why you are in the picture. You are in the picture because if you are an employee, part of how they are going to make money from that business, part of how that business is going to impact the society, requires your service. Now, typically, I'll tell people that as individuals, I learned quite early that you are also a business of one. So you have an employer who has set up an organization to say, okay, we want to make this product, and that's because we want to make money, right? Now, you as an individual, as a business of one, you're coming in and you are saying, I want to sell my services to this employer to help him achieve his goal while I make my own end in mind. My own vision is to be able to maybe one, earn a living for my family, then two, gain some experience, career progression, whatever that is, whatever that goal is for you as an individual. So that is the reason you aced that interview. That's the reason you prepared for the interview. That's the reason you get a raise. You work hard. You want that progression so that you get that raise, all toward achieving your primary goal. That's the reason you go for that promotion. You want it because you have a goal. You want to scale the ladder. You have a vision in mind, and so do most of us. Now, if we bring it to our asset level, our asset closes the deal they make. Our asset chases clients. Why? Because we have a goal in mind. That goal is like what I expressed at the beginning. The business says, okay, I want to either make profit or I want to make impact. These are the two goals most businesses will chase: make profit or impact. Some make profit while making what? Impact. So, overall, in the midst of our organization, there are several businesses happening, right? So you're going to find out that the maintenance department is a business unit. The reliability department is a business unit. The production department is a business unit. We're all businesses within a larger organization. And even though most of us in here are engineers, most of us in here are technicians, supervisors, team leaders, and yes, managers and co. At the end of the day, the big picture matters, because the big picture is what is going to determine how you show up daily. It's what is going to determine the strategies you employ. It's what's going to determine the value you bring to the business, the value you bring to the table. Because if you understand that you're a business of one, and your assets, your unit, your departments are businesses in and of themselves and should contribute to the overall bottom line, and your asset is meant to create value as a business unit, then it's going to guide the decisions you make down the line. And those decisions I'm going to share with you. But let's jump right in, right? Let's set the scene for the discussion today. The economies of the world are changing drastically today. I mean, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, if you told us there was going to be a year of pandemic where we'll be shopping in our houses for the most part of the year, most of us would not believe you. But that happened, and that changed how many organizations operate. I mean, some organizations have not recovered from what happened in the pandemic. Today, globalization, uh, technology is evolving. That's why we are able to have a conference like this. And shout outs to all the team that put this together. It's happening. So today I can sit right from my home in Nigeria and then talk to you from in different parts of the world. The economies of the world are integrating, organizations are changing, so we need to adapt. What that means is your competition is the competition for your organization is no longer the guy in the same city with you. It's no longer the business next door. It's no longer even the business just within your country. Your competition now is companies in different parts of the world that are in the same industry as you and are all seeking market share. So to be able to survive, the businesses we work in must become agile enough. We must become nimble enough to be able to navigate today's world and to compete in levels that are extremely much more difficult than what it was years ago. Before, the competition for your business would just be the guy probably in your city, in your state, or in the same country as you are, or maybe in the region of the world you are. But today, that dynamic has changed. So for many organizations today, it's about survival. And beyond survival, it's about growing. It's about conquering new territories. It's about conquering new grounds. It's also about the possibility of actually making also profit that would not otherwise have been possible in years past. So in the world today and in any business, right? Today, I'm taking you to business school, by the way. I mean, there's going to be a lot of talk around lubrication happening since yesterday. There's going to be more happening today. So, yes, I want to just create something different and fuse it together for us. So, in the world of business, right, what happened? There are going to be several factors that will influence what happens to your business, whether you are competitive as a business unit or you are not. And yes, consider yourself as a business, not just an engineer within a business. If the company you work in survives, you survive. If the company does well, you do well. If the company goes under and goes bankrupt, you're out of a job. So yes, we all operate in businesses, and these things should concern us. So what are the things that would influence the business world today in any organization, even as a family unit, right? As a family unit in your home, there are external remote things that can influence what happens in your organization. There are also your immediate environment, what happens in your operations around your vicinity that will affect your organization. And there are also things internal, your typical day-to-day activities that would determine if your business would succeed or not. Okay, so if you let's look at the word of lubrication now. In lubrication, which we are most likely discussing here, lubrication, reliability, and co, industry level forces tend to influence the performance within the sector. So if we look at the blending companies that make lubricant today, there are certain raw materials most of them would use to be able to create the different lubricants they make. And you're going to find out that if there's a shortage in the market, the entire industry is likely going to take a hit at once. Those are industry level forces that will affect all the businesses within that zone. And as businesses, obviously, everyone is looking to capture market share. Everyone is looking to say, okay, are there substitute goods available for this result I'm trying to obtain? So what do you think happens? We are all in a global market now. We're all struggling for market share. We're all trying to remain relevant. We're all trying to make sure our business performs beyond average. Competition is what will happen. And competition is natural. Because competition is natural, what that means is for you to thrive as an organization, for you to thrive as business units, you need what we call competitive advantage. Now, your top managers would understand this, right? Your top managers would understand this. Your sales manager would understand this. The MDs and CEOs would understand it. They will understand that for you to thrive, your company needs to have something special it does better than the others in the market. And that is why its customers would choose it. This thing that is special, we could talk about it externally, but really it's actually generated internally. The two things that is popular is one, cost advantage, right? Cost advantage. Some or some call it cost advantage or cost leadership. So what you try to create a fit, right? You try to create a fit between the external environment I mentioned before and the internal environment. So to achieve cost advantage, what that means is, and no, this we are very familiar with in the shop floor. The organization says we are cutting cost, we are reducing the cost of doing business. It's not just because they want to cut costs. They are trying to gain an advantage by getting the operational costs down. Because we get operational costs down, what happens is we increase the profit margins the business makes. If we're not increasing the profit margin, we could as well charge our customers lower so that we can onboard the new customers. And if we onboard new customers, there'll be chance for increasing our overall goal, which is profit making. So some businesses will decide to say, okay, we're going to operate on cost advantage. And so they seek out the lowest cost, maybe pursue economies of scale. And if we could use technology to cut down the time or the processes we have to simplify processes. I mean, this is where reliability comes to play, right? To simplify our processes and also see how we can lower the cost of maintenance, make our equipment more reliable. And if it's more reliable, our cost will come down. If our costs come down, we could charge maybe a bit lower than what the competition charges, and then our business gets to retain a larger market share and make more profit in the long run. For some other businesses, they're going to choose what we call differentiation, right? For differentiation, we're trying to be unique in our industry. We're trying to provide a solution no one else provides. We're looking at, okay, is there something that could set us apart in so much that we could even charge a premium for that service we provide? I mean, there are many, many examples of this in the market. That's why in the same market, you can pick a single bearing and you look for one bearing and you find out that for a single bearing, you can have 5 different manufacturers charging 5 different amounts for that same piece of equipment. Why? Because they are all trying to find an advantage in different ways. One will tell you, okay, you've got a warranty on this item for 10 years, so therefore you should pay me 50% more. Another will say, okay, you get it cheaper, but who says you need a warranty for 10 years? Just change it every 2 years. You get 10 for the price of one of the most expensive ones. So everybody's trying to compete in the market. So the question is, what is your edge as an overall business? And as an engineer, a supervisor, how can you contribute to the edge, the overall advantage your the company or business makes has in the marketplace? How can you help your company get more market share? How can you make that happen? Or in the discussions we've had so far, are you able to see your company's trajectory? How is your company trying to compete in the market? Is it cost advantage or is it differentiation? So what separates you from the herd out there, right? So if depending on the approach you choose, there are benefits that come with each of them, right? There are benefits that come with it. Some of the benefits include, I already mentioned before, being able to win and retain the target customers you want, being able to defend against competitive forces, being able to sustain your profits above the average, being able to obtain more market share, right? Create more benefits for your customers, justify your pricing, sustain your business presence. The company doesn't go under. There are benefits when you have a strategy, and I think most of the businesses you work in would have a strategy. But the question is, how do you connect to this strategy, and how can you help your organization achieve that edge, right? Achieving the edge is not something that would happen by mistake. It's something that has to be thought through. It's something that has to be planned. It requires a lot. It requires significant effort. It requires decision at strategic level in your organization. But like I said at the beginning, from within. It requires lots of collaboration, requires reliability leadership, both on-site and off-site, from the C-suite down to the shop floor. It requires that it is built internally. Okay, it is built internally, and then while it is built internally, it will now be projected to the out externally to both the customers, and that is the face everyone outside the business would eventually see. To build this edge requires a lot. I've stated some of them there: a clear strategy. You need the right business processes, people management, change management, reliability leadership, resource management. That's a whole lot of discussion on its own. But where do we play? Let's enter as M&R experts. Where do we play? I picked two areas that you play in, and that's what the presentation mentioned: predictive analytics and lubrication excellence. Right. So let's talk about predictive analytics. Being able to predict is really thought as, let's say, can you, if you could see your future 20 years from now, what would it look like? And if you had a chance to influence that future, what would you do? Right? Today, there are many ways we try to see the future, right? But this is not what we do in terms of predictive analytics for us in business in M&R. But we're looking at our assets. Can we predict the future reliability of the assets? Can we assure the future reliability? Can we make sure that the integrity of our assets is maintained instead of deteriorating over time? Can we look at our strategies and say our strategies are current? Can we find faults while they are small before they shut us down? Can we extend the lifespan of our assets? How can we do that? If we're able to predict failures, what would that change? What would that mean for our business? Okay, what benefit would it bring? What value would it bring? Is it going to give us more cash? Is it going to reduce downtime, improve production volumes, better sales, better safety records, better decision making, more ROI for our business? Is that what it's going to mean if we have tools, we have technologies that can help us? Absolutely, yes. And obviously, if you're sitting in this room, you definitely know that a lot is happening today with AI, with machine learning, and all of that. And with that in play, how can you use that to bring that special advantage to your company? How can you use that to bring that special advantage to your company? The decisions you make as a maintenance manager, as a maintenance team leader, as a supervisor, using the tools that have been provided with technology, how are you equipping your business to stand the test of time? How are you contributing to the bottom line if you have these tools already? And if you don't, are you considering these technologies to help you thrive and help give your business that edge, give your company that edge, and help you achieve your overall goals? Are you being able to do that? Or are you one of those that choose to say, okay, we're going to retain the traditional methods of working, where we have high inventory, our productivity levels are low to medium, we have frequent plant trips, safety issues. Is that where you want to operate? I mean, I can give you examples of companies that are in this. It's something some even have beautiful technologies, but they can't operate. They can't seem to be able to use this technology to create that advantage for themselves. Okay, so can we? What difference would that make? When I look at predictive analytics, I look at it as taking a leap back, looking back to leap forward. What are you doing with the historical data that you have in your CMMS? What are you doing? Are you able to analyze it? Are you able to report from it? Are you able to use that data to plan? Are you able to create solutions from that data? Do you have any means of looking back so that you can look forward, so that you can look further, so that you can predict the future? One of the effective ways of predicting the future is looking at what has happened in the past. Looking at what has happened in the past is going to help you to prevent repeat of unwanted cases or unwanted scenarios that have happened in the past. That would help you look at the past and say, okay, today's world with AI and machine learning models, you can do that. Okay, you can analyze data at the speed of light and get insights. You can analyze data you can analyze live data and make decisions based on that, such that you don't get to the point where failures shut you down and then limit the opportunities that's available to your business. How can predictive analytics help you? I'm not going to jump into the nitty gritty of it. If you are interested, you can study about it. I'm sure we're going to have some vendors that can provide you those solutions in the exhibition area after now, so you can check them out. But how can it help you? One, predictive analytics will help you to predict what has happened in the past. Repeat problems, will be able to define them, predict them, and be able to take charge of them. So problems can be prevented or solved very early, and this is because we've seen them in the past. We'll also be able to spot problems that we have not yet defined and find solutions to them, and we'll be able to even forecast, look into the future, know what our reliability can be in the future, and use that for the purpose of sales, for the purpose of making sure that our end users or customers get the most value. So we can predict what we're going to give to them and make sure that we give that to them at the said time. If we do this, what does it do? It creates value for us. It creates value for our customers. We'll resolve issues faster while they are still minor. We're able to speed up investigations into planned incidents. We'll be able to optimize production, prevent unexpected shutdown, gain better understanding of our plans, and we'll stop chasing fires and start optimizing performance. This is what we can do when we have predictive maintenance. Lubrication excellence is, you're going to hear a whole lot about that, but we know that typically, what does lubrication do, right? Takes care of friction generated by metal-to-metal contact, and lubrication can help us. Lubrication excellence, lubrication naturally will help you improve equipment efficiency. Lubrication excellence are the combination, the suite of practices that helps you make sure that your rotating equipment work optimally. If they work optimally, I can assure you that, especially for organizations that are highly dependent on rotating equipment, there's a direct link between productivity, profitability, and your equipment reliability. So imagine you are able to get the best out of your rotating equipment, and your equipment reliability is higher. What would that mean for the overall portfolio of business you work in? These two items done right can separate you from the herd, can keep the business you work in alive and growing, can be the reason that the business you work in remains. It can help you eliminate the biggest threats of failures, downtime, safety incidents, planned trips. Even new entrants into your market would not be able to compete with your efficiency because you've taken care of your equipment, and you've taken, could just be other things you have to take care of the people as well. And so if you do this, there's a whole lot of benefits that's going to come your way. It could be the reason why customers keep buying from you, because you are head and shoulders above the rest in the industry. It could be the reason why the stakeholders, the investors, will trust your business. It could be why your shareholders would decide to leave their money with you. Okay? So, my advice today, take the lead. There's technology. What the two things I've shared are things that are readily available to you. There's technology. It's available. If you are not an early adopter, if you are not a first mover, you can as well be a fast follower to utilize this tool to get the best out of your operations. As I round up, to get started, you need to reduce unexpected costs and maintain productivity, minimize downtime, minimize downtime and costs, increase efficiency and quality of your machine output, and be better at decision making. To get started, research. Find out the tools that are available to you. Create a pool of citizens that are willing to jump on these tools you have. If you don't have them, great, create them. Create small solutions and replicate. Replicate the fantastic results you've had. Stay nimble, stay smart, stay agile. If it doesn't go well at first, don't be scared. Try again, fail fast, and then you get the opportunity to do better. Overall, you are a business of one. You work in an organization that is meant to deliver immense value. You are part of that overall chain. As an individual, you matter. You are a business of one, and you contribute to the overall success and advantage or edge that company has. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jonathan. That was a great topic and very interesting to hear. Due to the late start, we did overrun our timing a little bit. So we unfortunately don't have any more time for questions. But yeah, we need to end the stream here to make the track available for the rest of the audience. So I would like to thank you very much for your presentation today. I enjoyed it very much. And I would like to thank the audience as well for attending the session, and enjoy the rest of our LRVS, and hopefully see you later today. Thank you, Jonathan.
Okay, fantastic. So much. I appreciate it. Okay, bye bye.
All the best.